All right, guys, it's my first time cooking a brisket. So the first thing we're going to do is get it up out of the packaging. So, be very careful with this. My knife is pretty sharp, so we'll get out the packaging first. And as you can see, nice hunk of brisket. Now we're going to clean up all this fat off this side. There's a lot of fat on this particular side of the brisket. Gonna clean it up. Just make sure that you're really careful with your knife. Take your time. And then I'm gonna keep this fat. I'm storing this when I make sausage, but take your time. Once it's cleaned up, I'm using mustard as a binder. Just using mustard and rub it in real good, all in the cracks and whatnot. And then once I get it all rubbed in, I'll come in with my seasonings. I'm using just different types of seasoning. This is garlic salt. I think this is a barbecue rub. Just use whatever you like. I think this is a paprika meat seasoning. I'll go back with some different stuff like Cajun seasonings. Like I said, anything that you want to season your meat with, it's up to you. Now I flip the meat to the other side, clean it up a little bit, and I'm just hitting it with some coarse salt, hitting it with some garlic pepper, and then just some more of that barbecue rub and some garlic salt. Just like I said, whatever you want to rub it with, paprika. Then I'm going to pat this in, and then I'll make sure we get it all covered in there. And then once we do that on both sides, I'll let it rest. I got my MasterBuilt smoker set to 225, so we're letting it come up to temperature before I put the meat into the smoker. Now it's at temperature and it's ready. It's good to go. All right, now I have my brisket on the rack. I'm putting my thermostat in so that I can tell, I know what temperature it is. I'm going to wait till it gets to like 160 degrees internal. And this is a remote thermostat. I really like this thing. If you're smoking meat, cooking, grilling, whatnot, get you one of these. They are excellent. So we're going to go ahead and set this to the side, and then we'll push the meat on in and get it ready. There you go. All right, the base on this thermostat is magnetic. You can actually stick it to the side of the door. And then the remote, you just take it with you. Yeah, you got to have one of these when you're grilling. Now I'm putting some of my wood in, dumping it into the tray. Boom. To get it, to get it good and smoky. I'm using apple wood. Right here, I'm putting together my spritz. I'm using apple cider vinegar. I'm using some Jim Beam apple. And what you don't see, and a little lemon juice. And then I did put a little bit of regular vinegar in it. All right, when the internal temperature reached 160, I did take it out and wrapped it in aluminum foil. Didn't have any butcher paper. I know some people do it in butcher paper, but we're gonna cook it longer. All right, it's the next morning. This thing probably cooked between 11 and 12 hours. That's what I had it set for. So we're gonna take this out. All right, so yeah, we're gonna have to take the whole rack out. I tried to just take the meat out, but it's so tender. I had to take the whole rack off. All right, I slid the brisket onto this butcher block. I'm gonna let it rest. It's still really hot. It's about 7 a.m. in the morning. Like I said, it went on for between 11 and 12 hours in the smoker. So we're just gonna let it rest now, and then we'll come back and check it out. Just want to show. Here's the brisket, and I know it's nice and tender because I had to use the rack to even bring it in. So we're gonna let it rest some more, and then we're gonna come back and get us a good old slice. See what it tastes like. All right, now for the taste test. I'm gonna cut this brisket. It's tenders. Let's get the money shot. Let's get that money shot. Look at that. Not bad for a first time. Trying to cut it is a problem. Still moist. Really flavorful. Yeah, pretty good.